A tiny trend is forming that caught our attention, and we're sure it's catching your attentions as well. It's the tiny home trend. Joining me now is Bob Clarizio, and he's with Tiny Home Builders. And boy, you build these tiny homes and they are selling so quickly. Where do you think we are with this trend?
Only the beginning. I mean, it's so good to be here. I'm glad that you guys have us here today because, you know, there's been very little awareness in the Chicago market. But in general, across the country over the last 5 to 6 years, there have been an explosion across the country, both changing zoning laws to allow these houses both as secondary homes on pieces of property and primary residences. As far as the Midwest is concerned, it's only begun. Certain counties such as McHenry County, Kane County, are just starting to look at the idea of changing their zoning laws to allow these tiny homes as primary residences.
Why are people so actively choosing to build or move into these tiny homes?
It's a great question. So we have two different markets for our tiny house products, and primarily those straight out of college, maybe 21 to 35 years old.
That makes sense.
Burdened by college debt, trying to become more fiscally responsible. You know, one of the things that we have to keep in mind, especially with that portion of the marketplace, a lot of people who are buying our tiny homes, they saw their parents in 2009, 2010 lose their house, where their childhood home where they grew up with is now owned by somebody else and they had to downsize themselves. So this fiscal responsibility has been ingrained into them to where they want to be more mindful. They're fearful of going down that same path of overextending themselves and things like that.
Right, because people were buying these mansions who could not even afford them, even a third of the mansion. Okay, so one thing that concerns me is they are tiny, and I think a tornado season, and I just think these homes could go whipping around here.
It's a great point. So we do a couple of different things to combat that. One, our tiny houses are completely made out of steel stud construction. So they're made out of the same kind of construction that a high-rise building is made out of. On top of that, we have outrigger type systems that help stabilize the homes when they're in permanent settings. And we've been in several different scenarios recently where we've had major rainstorms over the spring season where we're at a trade show and we don't have them tied down or anything, and they're just they stay where they're put.
What about the price on the homes? What does that look like? I know it varies.
It definitely varies, but our homes come in at the lower end of the marketplace. So typically, before our product really came to market, you could only purchase a home for $60,000 to $80,000. So they're rather expensive, and for that price, people could go buy a condo or something like that.
That is true.
So when we came to the marketplace, we said, you know, we have to make this affordable for the common man. So what we did was we came in at a price point of between $35,000 and $50,000. So
that's the price of a car.
Exactly, and it can get financing. Where some of the $60,000 and $80,000, there's just not the value in a custom one-off situation to validate that financing. So we wanted to be at the $35,000 to $60,000 range so that we could offer financing to our customers.
I love this. Great to have you here and talking about this topic. Bring us more on tiny homes.
Thank you.